Good morning everyone and welcome to today's IP class. Today we are going to start a new chapter and the chapter name is Communication and Network Concepts. Now this is all about networking and all that. So today we'll start with the very, we can say, primary topic of networking, that is what is network and why networking is required. Along with that, the advantages and disadvantages of networking. So let's start with the first, what is called network. Now the term network means what? If we say network of people, it means a group of people where they are exchanging something. If we say network of roads, it means what? Where buses are going from one side to another one side. So similarly, in the field of computer or in IT field, what do you mean by network? Or what do you mean by networking? Networking means when two or more than two computers are in connection, are in network, so that they can share the data, resources as well as the peripheral devices too. Now what do you mean by peripheral devices? Peripheral devices means all the different hardware devices which they can share, like scanner, printer and all that. Now this is all about network. The definition is when two or more computers are connected together so that they can share the data, resources as well as the peripheral devices. Next, why this is required? What is the need for networking? Now, the number one is resource sharing. It means they can share the data and the resources among each other. If I am here and I want to share an important resource, important data with someone else, I can take the help of networking and can share it. The networking will not make me bound within a boundary. Next is reliability. If one particular file is stored in more than one computer, suppose 5 or 6 systems, the files are already stored and one of the system is not working, the person has no need to worry about that file because this file are saved in the next 3 or 4 systems. Next is the cost factor. Now what is cost factor here? If everybody has a PC in an office or a company or somewhere else, then it will be a cost effective thing in comparison to a microcomputer. Next is communication medium. Now what is communication medium or why it is needed? Communication medium is like a person from one end, it's very easy for him or her to communicate with the person on the other hand through the networking. Suppose in a company, a manager or a high post people has to communicate with his employer, with his co-colleague for some meetings or regarding some important things, then with the help of networking, he or she can do it very easily. So this is another one important need, that is communication medium. Now, as every coin has two sides, similarly here we also have the advantages as well as the disadvantages of networking. Now let's first go to the advantages. Advantages are more or less similar with the need for the networking. The first advantage is shares resources. If your systems are in a network, they can easily share data and the resources, which is very helpful. Next is they can share storage. That also can be done. Systems can share the storage space so that it's very easy for them to handle big, huge amount of data. Next is they can share the software. If I need to install a particular software in suppose 50 systems which are in a network, I don't have to worry that I have to go to each and every single computer to install that. With one system in the server, if it is installed, with that other systems can easily share that. Next is improves communication. This is the same thing, communication medium. The person can communicate to other end. It improves the communication how? With the help of the emails. The communication becomes really very fast. Next we go to the disadvantages. What is the first disadvantage is complex, costly, it requires specialist staff. Why? Because when your systems are in a network, it really becomes a complex thing because it consists of too many things and too many settings when systems have to be in a network. And it requires money also. That's why it said it's costly. Now, if it is a complex connection or a complex setting and it requires money also, then obviously it requires a specialist staff who has a very good hardware knowledge, of networking knowledge, so that the person can handle that networking easily. Next is, if files held centrally and central server fails, everything stops. It means what? If your networking is arranged in such a way that it is centrally handled. Centrally handled means one server is handling all the systems. Then what happens is, if your files got corrupted, or that central server got corrupted, or something happened to the central server, all the other systems automatically stop and your day will become a chaos. Next is file security problems in WAN. We are going to discuss about the types of networking. But before that, file security problem in WAN. WAN means wide area network. Everybody have a more or less rough idea about WAN. So file security problem comes when the networking goes to a higher level, that is called WAN, wide area network, where the networking is beyond any boundary. So there, what is the file security problem? It's all about viruses and spyware and malware and all these kind of things. So what we discussed today, we discussed about what is called network. It's a combination when two or more computers combine together, they come together to share the data and the resources as well as the peripheral devices, then they are said to be in a network or they are in networking. Next we discussed about why the networking is required. These are the 4 basic needs why the networking is required. And at last we discussed about what are the advantages and disadvantages of networking. So today for this class this much. Please go through it, students. If you have any doubt regarding this simple topics, please ask me. And the next class we are going to discuss about from actually where the internet, from where the evolution of the networking actually happens. We are going to discuss that in the next class. Thank you everyone.